everybody, and thank you for joining my presentation here. Today we'll be talking about the National Hockey League and its rush to return to play, presented by myself, Josh Mills. So before I get into the actual topic here, I want to talk a little bit about myself and my background towards this situation, as I find that this affects my general community as well as my family itself. To begin with, I am a 20-year-old freshman college student studying business administration. I have personally played hockey since the age of 4, with my final season being at the age of 19. And for as long as I can remember, the dream was to play in the National Hockey League. And around the town, that's pretty much everyone around this town. They all want to play in the National Hockey League. So the National Hockey League has, for over a century, been regarded as the top-tier hockey league in the world. Everyone dreams of playing in that league. And the National Hockey League began on December 19th, 1917 with only 6 teams, where it has now reached up to 31 teams. So a bit of background information on the topic that I chose. The issue that I chose was that of the rush for the National Hockey League to return to play during the COVID-19 pandemic. And I chose this because it's important to me for not only the general health of the world and my family, but for my passion towards the game of hockey. COVID-19 is a very, very, very scary sickness, and around my house and family, with 3 of 5 people being extremely at risk for the sickness, this causes a large concern for me. On top of the health risk, I also worry for the integrity of the game, as the players will be forced into conditions of discomfort and out of playing shape as they haven't seen real competition since the month of March. I know personally for myself, when I wouldn't be in proper hockey shape, even after a week or 2, you can tell. You get rusty. So, as far as progress for my essay, I want to begin with a bit of results. Before we begin with a bit of results from my research, I want to talk a bit about my strengths and weaknesses and where I think I did well and where I think I went wrong. So, to begin with, my grammar has always been something that I've struggled with throughout my entire career as a student. I've tried to continue to get better, and it is something I have gotten better with, but still needs work, and it's evident in this essay. The second weakness that was very noticeable within my essay was the lack of clear controversy. I found myself not quite being able to depict a perfect kind of controversy within my topic, as I found a little bit too much of a discussion rather than a research essay. And the third weakness I found within my essay was actually a lack of different sources, as this whole entire topic isn't too talked about. It's not this large scale media portrayal as to why it shouldn't be going on. There's about 3 to 4 articles I could find that were generally solid sources to use for my essay. Now for my strengths, I think I wrote with passion. I wrote very near and dear to my heart. It's something that truly does affect me, as I love the sport of hockey and I love to make sure that people are healthy and safe, and I don't want to risk that. I don't find it's worth it. My second strength is I find that I provide a good topic for discussion. So even though I may have lacked controversy, I found that the topic I was able to find and discuss was that of a very, very important topic in this time. And the third strength I found was research. My research was very, very strong, even though there was a lack of source to get it from. I found the stuff that I did, I was able to find, was very, very prominent and came from very knowledgeable sources on the topic. So now I want to get into the results. Within the essay, there was a large amount of research done, and quite frankly, some very interesting findings, with a few of key points being that follows. The National Hockey League plans to use 25 to 30,000 COVID-19 testing kits for their players and staffs, not including the people that they'll have to bring around the ice, including medical teams to fix the ice up, teams to report on the actual games, teams to televise it. And the second big result that I found was the potential for failure is very, very high. When I was doing my research for this essay, I found that two major countries have attempted to bring back major league sports and have both failed miserably. Both Japan and South Korea have failed with very, very similar plans, resulting in an abundance of players getting sick, as well as postponing the season to an even further date than originally predicted. Now, the third and, in my opinion, most crucial thing is the integrity of the game. It comes into question as most of the players haven't played for months and will not be coming back in mid-season form, calling into question the quality of play as well as the legitimacy of the potential Stanley Cup champions. Now, this is a very big deal because for the entirety of the NHL's existence, this team that ends up winning the Stanley Cup will have an asterisk around their name, no matter what happens. After those results, we'll go into a quick conclusion here. So the National Hockey League will be using up to 30,000 COVID-19 testing kits. That is a very, very large of COVID-19 testing kits, taking away from areas like hospitals, grocery store workers, essential workers who need these COVID-19 testing kits to make sure they're safe to go back to work and to continue to help our communities. Secondly, if history repeats itself like it did in South Korea and Japan, this will not go well and will only negatively affect the community and the league itself. Even if the league manages to make it work, there will always be a stigma around the champion and their season, causing large controversy for years to come. And within my conclusion, I want to talk a little bit about what the essay was able to do for me. So this research essay provided me with an opportunity to practice seeing both sides of a situation, as well as showing me how to properly research for my writing to provide increased support on my views of the subject. Those two things to me are very, very huge and very important to my continued growth as a student and as a person.